Okay, thank you for moderate. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys. Okay, in occasion, I will share about several tips for learning mathematics in a good and fun way. So let's get started. Mathematics is a subject that is really in demand by students. Why? Because the smart subjects tends to count. And then many young people today are more fond of playing using gadgets and other. What's that? Because in this modern era, the technology is increasingly sophisticated. Everything is simple. So most Indonesian students want something practical, easy and fast. There are probably Indonesian students who want to solve math problems in books or just explained by their teacher. Sometimes there are reasons that are sleepy, tell stories, and don't want to pay attention to the material taught by the teacher. It is very difficult for students in learning mathematics is fun. So, for us who experience things like that, here are tips to overcome the problem we are currently experiencing regarding learning in schools. Come on, see the following math learning tips. Okay, you can see the first is strengthen your attention to learn mathematics. The most important things so that learning mathematics is fun we can do with structuring attention. In learning mathematics, we should not stick to the benchmark. I must be able to get good grades in mathematics as a condition for passing the mathematics exam. Why is that? Because with such a perception, then after not studying mathematics anymore, then we will forget the material we have learned. So, in order to make learning mathematics more enjoyable, it's better to first intend our attention to increase knowledge in the field of mathematics. Why is that? Because when we learn math lessons, our brain's reasoning power will be honed by itself, so that math lesson can be easily accepted by our brains. Therefore, we should never think and worry on the fact that learning mathematics is difficult, and don't worry on the results of the exam that we will receive, but think about how we can master the learning process. And the tips for number two, that is recognize, understand, and love all math material. In this case, we must know the most important points in learning mathematics. After we know these points, then it will be very easy for us to be able to master the material in the mathematics learning. So, how can I love and get to know the material in mathematics? So, this point that can answer this problem is know, understand, and love. So, it's very easy for us to master it. So, how can I identify this material? We must understand the function of this mathematics lesson in everyday life. If we already know it, then we will know how important mathematics lessons are in everyday life. Take a simple example. When a builder makes the foundation of a house, he must calculate it in the tiles so that the foundation does not easily collapse or tilt. With this problem, mathematical formulas can also work on this problem. And even when we want to calculate pocket money ourselves, then we have to calculate it using a mathematical formula, right? It's really impossible if we all can avoid the problems of mathematics in everyday life. Therefore, that's instilled in our minds that mathematics is very important for everyday life, and I also consider mathematics to be beautiful, interesting, and fun to solve problems. Well, if we can love it, then on the problem, all the formulas in typical mathematics will look very easy to understand. Okay, the next tips is to God. Fry to God. Okay, frying is the most important part of any work that will be done. Well, with this, uh, when we want to start studying mathematics, it's a good idea to fry first so that God will make it easy for us to want to solve all the problems on in mathematics lessons. Why is that? Because if we have asked God to give you all the confidence, your science attention, then God will make it easy for you. Because God is everything in this world. Because prayer is very important. And remember, never to give up in trying. Stay consistent and persistent to start. Okay? Okay, guys? Okay. Uh, we continue to tips number 4. We have learned a lot and often train your mind with math problems. Mathematics is a subject that tends to count. Mathematics is not a lesson that can be read and we will understand. So, to be able to understand and master problems and the use of formulas in mathematics, we have to try a lot of practice questions and study diligently. Why is that? Because if we often train our minds to solve existing mathematical problems, then our brains will be trained and accustomed to working on and solving existing math problem well. Okay, for now, this is our sixth stage of a good way of learning. You can see in this slide. Uh, Number one is understand the material with the formula and then group the existing formulas. Start working on the question that are discussed, and then work on the problem without looking at the discussion. Do another problem of the same type, and then keep practicing the questions. On this issue, we should not learn only from one book. What's that? Because these are usually incomplete books explaining the existing equations. So it's very difficult for us to understand them. So look for other reference books to make it easier for us to understand. And then the tips number 5 is no I can and hopeless words. No I can and hopeless word. Okay? Despair is a disease in someone who is most often encountered when he is trying to get something but easily gives up. When we want to learn math, never remember the word despair. Never. Okay? Why? When we have found a problem that is quite complicated, then never say I can. The best solution is to ask our math teacher for help or to our friends who already understand the problem so that we can understand it. By saying I can't, it will only make things worse. And very first, when we are not able to do it, then say I can definitely. Remember, don't give up easily because every problem has a solution. Give yourself encouragement so you can get through it. And the last tips is be patient. Be patient is important in learning something. Patience is a difficult thing to do for everyone. Therefore, it is slowly to try to be patient in dealing with problems in mathematics. Because patient people will surely be loved by God Almighty. Hopefully good and fun math learning tips can be useful for us. Thank you. Okay, guys, if you have any question, you can you can unmute your microphone and then introduce yourself and mention your question. Okay, guys. Okay, and I back to moderate.